Welcome to Face the State. I'm Ariana Bennett. Thank you for joining us. 1 in 8 women will get a breast cancer diagnosis in her lifetime. That means the disease has touched most of us in some way, a family member or a close friend, or maybe even yourself. And when you are in treatment for breast cancer here locally, you become very familiar with the name Moms on the Run. So Jillian Pinocchio with Moms on the Run is here with me to talk about that. Jillian, thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thanks for having me.
Honestly, it is truly my pleasure for so many reasons. Now, for your family, this issue is a personal one. Would you mind telling me kind of the origin story of the charity?
Absolutely. So we started in 2000 after my aunt, my mom's sister, lost her battle with breast cancer. My mom wanted something good to come out of Deborah's suffering. She wanted to do what she could her goal was to help maybe one woman. That was her goal, to alleviate some financial stress. She saw what my aunt went through and she wanted to do her part to try and give back, and that's how it was born.
Pretty amazing to think that 26 years ago you're trying to help one woman, and now fast forward to 2026, and how many are you helping?
Right now we're helping about 40 to 5 women a month. We did last year with our 25th anniversary try and come up with the figure of how many women we've helped, but in 2000, if you think back, we don't have as many computer records and things we have now, so the exact figure was tough for us to come up with, but we've helped probably 6,000 or 7,000 women in our 26 years.
It's pretty incredible. It's hyper local and it's hyper individualized, which I think is really neat. You're not just a one size fits all situation. You kind of help women in the ways that they need it. Can you give me a rundown of what exactly you do?
Yeah, absolutely. So we like to call them everyday living expenses for women fighting breast and gynecological cancers. We pay for things like rent, utilities, gas, groceries, things like that while they're going through treatment. We don't step in for any medical costs, but we try and alleviate those everyday living expenses. A lot of times these women are out of work or working less, and none of the rest of the stuff stops. The utility bills keep coming. You still need to put food on the table. You need gas to get to your appointments and to work and all of that kind of stuff. So we try to do what we can to alleviate the burden of how am I going to pay next month's rent? How am I going to go buy groceries this week? Because what these women really need to do is concentrate on what's important, and that's getting well. And so we try and step in and do what we can to alleviate just a little bit of that pressure.
Well, I've heard from many women who have benefited from the services you provide, and I know what a huge impact it's had on them. Do you have any stories of people who you've helped, who you've heard from? What do they say?
We hear it all the time, and to say I never like to hear it, because knowing we've helped somebody means somebody is sick, but we hear it from, you helped my neighbor, you helped my sister, you helped my cousin, you helped me. Obviously, we have a restaurant in town. We have a lot of customers. People come in and, they'll say with tears in their eyes, I don't know how we would have made it through. You helped me through, the worst 6 months of my life. And that's what it's here for. Everybody deserves a little help when they need it. And we don't have, this isn't for people that are financially struggling. It's for everyday people that have fallen on some hard times and need a little help, whether it's, you can only work half the time or you can't work at all. That's what we do. We step in and help, and we truly are local people helping our local people.
I just think, what in the world do women do in other communities who don't have a you? I mean, I really I see the impact, and I just think how sad that they don't have a Moms on the Run everywhere.
We've thought about that many times, and we do. I don't know what the answer is, but we hear it from the women all the time. I don't know what I would have done. You guys were a lifesaver and all of that kind of stuff. And what we do, we've done it for a long time. It's a decent amount of work, and we have a very small group. And in those times that it seems overwhelming, you hear those types of stories and you think, well, we got to keep going, because what do they do without us?
Yeah.
They need our help.
Right. I know. Well, I mean, when I got diagnosed, it was almost immediate that I had a bunch of different people refer me to you, and I didn't need the services that you provide to so many people. I'm in a lucky position, but some of the things that have happened anyway have been just delightful surprises, and so I wanted to bring up, when I got diagnosed, I got a sizable, actually I got two swag bags from Moms on the Run. The first before my surgery to help me with some of the surgical recovery, and there was this packet in here, this gift from Moms on the Run that had things to wear after surgery and a drain holding lanyard that was so helpful, and the kind of thing that I don't think I would have ever thought to get for myself. I use this so much I can't even tell you, and it wasn't something I would have thought to ask for or buy ahead of time, so just a huge help. And then when I started chemo, Renown gave me the bag that had, and this thing is hefty. It has so much in it, from a nice fuzzy blanket because chemo is very cold, and a journal, and there's colored pencils, there's a head covering, there's chapstick in here, there's hard candies to suck on. This is so amazing that you do this for people. They don't ask for it. It's just given to you anyway. You don't realize how much you're going to need this kind of thing. But having these like arms wrap around you and support when you're going through something hard is incredible. And so tell me about these bags. I know you said you're just about to start stuffing more swag bags. How do you decide what goes in here?
Oh, well, my mom gets all the credit for that. It was her idea. We like to refer to them as a hug in a bag, like you said. You know, these are people that we don't know, we're never going to know. They're people that don't have to apply for assistance. They're there, they're on their first day of chemo or they're post-surgery, you know, they're scared, they've got a lot going on, and it's just a sign to know people are out there and people care. But my mom's a health nut. She does a lot of research. Ginger candies are good for nausea. You know, she knows it's cold in there, and obviously my mom is the co-founder of this organization, so she's in the know, and all the things are thought out and put in with a lot of love from her and our executive director, and yeah, we get a lot of positive comments from them, and Moms on the Run gets a lot of exposure from them, and it brings people to our organization and reminds us that we're there and there's people out there that we should help.
Yeah, well, I mean, it shows. It really should. The care and thought that went into it is evident for sure. Now, all of this, providing all these services, obviously requires funding. So let's talk about where your funding comes from.
Absolutely, yeah. So we have, our flagship event has always been a Mother's Day event. It was a 5K walk and run for 25 years. This year, coming up on our 26th year, we are changing to just a walk. We are doing a 4-mile walk starting at Damani High School. This year will be May 10th, our event, and we're going to go for a 4-mile flat walk for all ages and paces and raise money to help the women in our community.
Very cool. So why make the change from the run to the walk?
25 years is a long time. We've had a lot of different challenges. We've made a lot of different moves. We've been at a couple different locations. The bigger our city gets, the harder it is to close down streets and do things like that. Obviously, the run creates a little bit more labor, a little bit of a bigger course, that kind of thing. So we decided, instead of calling it quits on the whole thing, to just, what can we do to keep going and maybe change it a little bit? And we were probably 80% walkers, 20% runners, so primarily walkers anyways. So a little bit of a shift, but I think a lot of people are gonna love it. It's a very family-friendly event. Many generations, you know, come out together, mom, grandma, kids, all that kind of stuff. So we're gonna keep the essence of our really fun Mother's Day event, family-friendly, you know, everybody wears fun pink outfits and kind of goes crazy, and so all of that still is going to be encompassed in the Sunday stroll. That's what we're calling it, the Moms on the Run Sunday stroll, and just not going to have a timed 5K run.
Okay, and so that's your biggest fundraiser of the year, but not the only one, right?
Correct, yes. We also do a motorcycle poker run in September, and then last year we did our first annual bowling tournament at the bowling stadium in October. Both of those events will continue, so we do 3 events throughout the year, kind of hitting different segments of the population, whether you're a biker, whether you're, you know, a family wanting to run, or I mean, nobody can bowl, so everybody can bowl. So we just try and give everybody a different opportunity to participate in whatever way you see fit, and whatever event fits you best, or all of them.
Okay, and now participating in all these obviously helps your cause. The money that you generate, is it enough to meet the need as you see it, or is there still kind of a gap there?
Well, we always look at, the money we have and kind of space it out by the months, and that's how we say, how many women we're going to help. Unfortunately, the need is always growing. We have a lot of really wonderful sponsors. We have a lot of sponsors that have been with us since their start. So we use what we've got, and we spend everything that we raise. We have a very low operating cost. It's one of the things we're most proud about. We have a very grassroots working board. We only have one employee. So all the money raised through Moms on the Run, over 90 cents of every dollar goes right back to helping the women in our community. And we are very passionate about keeping those costs very low. So the money that is given to Moms on the Run is going to the right place.
That's right. Okay, now I imagine there's going to be people who are watching this who are inspired to help you. What do you most need? Cash donations, volunteers, all of the above?
All of the above. I think the biggest thing is participation in the events. Get the crowds out there, show your support, get your friends and family participating. And I think, I always say everybody should do what they can, whether that's becoming a platinum sponsor or whether it's signing yourself up for an event. Whatever fits in your life is what you should do and is helpful. And everybody's got a different level of what they can do to support the community. So whatever need fits you best, but we encourage everybody to participate in our events. The crowds are what really make that fun.
Okay, and then for the people who are watching this at home, maybe going through cancer themselves, who need some help, what's your message to them?
Apply. It's we keep a very low application process, a very easy one. All these women have enough to deal with, doctor's appointments, a lot of things to deal with. There's I think it's 2 pages, a 2-page application. You send it in. You got to be sick, you got to need help, and got bills to pay, and that's pretty much what we do. So don't be afraid to ask for help. That's what we're here for. It's for everyday people. And everybody needs a little love and a little help, and that's what Moms on the Run's here for.
Okay, well, as someone who is benefiting from your organization, I have to say personally, thank you. Truly, it's incredible what you do, and very, very appreciated. So I hope everybody comes to all your things this year, and so you can help even more people.
Thank you.
All right.